Get your St. Louis MMA fix at knucklejunkies.com.
Knuckle Junkies here with interim champion Max Choriev, the new 170-pound interim champion. The current title holder is Freddie Kosovaric. Maybe a matchup in the future, but let's talk about the fight right now. Really gritty, really ground-orientated championship match. Just walk me through the fight, what you thought was going to happen and what ended up happening.
So I thought my striking was going to be a lot better. Unfortunately, it wasn't. He was a better striker. Good. That's fucking. I like to congratulate him for that. That's amazing. He got me with a couple strikes, good ones. He dropped me right away. I had to recover. That's all I thought of. Recover, just get the takedown. And takedown. That's all I was all focusing on mainly after I got punched, you know. And from there, I tried to win the first round. I won the first round in my opinion. I won the second round with the takedown. I won the third round with the takedown and kept him down. I feel like I did good. My wrestling was great today, you know. And that's all.
Well, I was going to say, in a lot of your other performances, we see like a very dynamic, kind of just wide variety of tool sets. We've seen you kick, we've seen you punch, we've seen the clinch, the takedowns, the jiu-jitsu. Today we saw a more smothering Max. Now, I know that you kind of suffered an injury. When precisely did you break your hand in this fight?
I believe I broke it in the second round. I got him down. First thing I did, I remember I threw a hard punch. I believe I hit his right side, and I felt the sharp pains. I was like, oh, dude, I knew I broke my hand. So I was like, oh, dude, I gotta try to keep it down on the ground as much as I can. So I just kept it in the ground the whole round.
So now this happens in the second round. You're in the corner in the third. What's going through your head?
I try to use my left hand to use it as much as I can. But I automatically was thinking, take him down and keep him down. That's all I was thinking.
Knuckle Junkies here with victorious David Evans. David, first and foremost, you know, pro debut, coming out there with spectacular fashion, smothering the opponent, ultimately getting the finish with the head and arm triangle. You know, just talk to us about, first of all, the transition from amateur to pro and the fight in general. What was the game plan? What you did, was it what you intended to do, or did you kind of just go with the flow?
Ultimately, to answer your first question, the transition from amateur to pro, man, I definitely wouldn't change anything about it. I spent a long time in the amateur ranks trying to fine-tune my skills and my ability and trying to line up everything to prepare myself for this night, my pro debut. It was great. As an amateur, I fought all around the world. I beat some of the best in the world. I've had some tough losses, you know, that I've bounced back from, and I wouldn't change anything about it. As far as tonight, the game plan was to go out there and just execute and be where I needed to be. Punch when I needed to punch, kick when I needed to kick, shoot when I needed to shoot. You know, I ultimately would have loved a knockout, but once I closed the distance and I kind of felt his strength, I kind of felt that was something I could really exploit. And rather than going out there and putting myself at risk, I decided to fight smart, you know, and get in there, get my first W under my belt as a pro.
Knuckle Junkies here with Derik and Sean Scott. Derik, fantastic performance tonight. Another one in the win column. Just talk about the preparation for this fight, because we know that we've gone to the Titan Games. Yeah. We know that you've had a lot going on. So just talk about the preparation for this fight and ultimately the execution.
Yeah, so what's cool is that the spot that I wound up in California is right next to Dynamics MMA, and they've got Anthony Hardong runs their Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu, their Muay Thai like Dutch style kickboxing, and then you've got Henry Atkins, who's hidden Jiu-Jitsu. He's a Rickson Gracie black belt, and then you've got Vladimir Tarasenko. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, but he's like a 7-time Russian national champion running their wrestling program. So for me, that's actually what I did to prep for the Titan Games. I prepped like it was a fight. So my preparation for the Titan Games was exactly like this fight. So it was almost like I did one camp, but the Titan Games was every night, right? So it was, I had to get my emotions up. I had to get ready to go. I had to basically like, I was texting these guys the whole time because they're my why, right? My brothers are the reason why. If you watch the Titan Games, you can see some of that shit that I did, and it's like, how did he do that? He was an inch from the edge. It's because literally in my head, I can hear my brothers screaming at me like, look, we'll rest tomorrow. Go, push, now. Yeah.
So that's actually a question for both of you. Like, how do you feel when you guys watch each other fight?
Proud.
Yeah.
Proud.
I mean, because like the thing is, we do all of the things necessary to fight beforehand, right? He's eating the right things. He's training at the right times. He's doing the right strength and conditioning. He's taking care of his mind. He's doing the things to where when he gets in the cage, I can just, you know, believe in him and trust in him. And it's the same for me, right? You know, we live because our brother passed away, and we try to, you know, that's why my shirt says, it says for Ian, right? I don't know where the hat is. Yeah, right here. It says for Ian, right? That's why it's on my shirt, right? It's our why. It's why we do the things that we do. It's why people are like, oh my God, you guys do so much. It's because we wanna live every day to the fullest.
So I mean, it looked like to me you didn't take much damage in this fight. What's next? Do you want to get a quick turnaround? You want to take some time off? Like, what would you like to do now?
Yeah. So what's crazy is that, and it's out there now. Sean's about to do American Ninja Warrior at the end of the month, and then I'll actually be guest judging the GT games, which is like the backyard trampoline international games where everybody's doing. I'm doing it with Logan Dooley, who's an Olympian, and then Dom Lewis, who's like one of the most amazing trickers out there. And then after that, we actually have a couple different things planned up as far as like some TV stuff that's in negotiation right now. So with Sean going on American Ninja Warrior, me doing the GT games, like just trying to go, like what got us here is what earns us the opportunity to go forwards, right? There's no resting. It's just, okay, now Sean's getting prepped for American Ninja Warrior.
Well, Derik, it's always a pleasure to watch you perform, and many blessings on all the things you guys got going on, and I hope all for the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Woo! Let's go! Knuckle Junkies here with victorious Dustin Scrappy Lampros. Scrappy, 4-0 now. 4 finishes in the first round, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Just walk us through, first of all, the preparation for this fight. I know that you had a previous opponent. There was 2 days ago there was a change?
Yep. Yeah, I had a couple changes back to back. I'm pretty used to it. Happens a lot in my career, but camp started good, and then 5 weeks out, I kind of got hurt. Didn't know if I was gonna be able to fight. Got to work with some really good doctors in Florida. They got me back, so we pushed through. Ended up being able to make the fight. Then opponent backs out, but we found a replacement, and he came through. He put on a tough little scrap, but I had to finish it.
Yeah, so talk about a little bit about the fight. I mean, pretty heavy in the wrestling department. I mean, he shot in for the takedown after you hit him with a good 2. Kept shooting for the takedown, you stuffing it successfully, then taking his back and finally just punching him out.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I knew he was going to shoot on me here, and he had wrestling background, and I knew as soon as I touched him, he wouldn't like that. So he shot in on the single, and I had to stuff it. Took me a little bit to kind of stale him out, but once I captured position, I took the back, and I knew that was over from there.
You talked a little bit about Florida and the camp here, and you said that you were hurt. Can you just kind of elaborate on not just the preparation, but also this injury?
Yeah, I went into wrestling not feeling too well. I knew my neck wasn't feeling good, but knowing I had a fight, I wanted to push it. Being a pro fighter, as you know, it's kind of hard to not train. So I went into training, and halfway through it started really hurting, and I pushed through the train session. Last 15 minutes of the train session, I was in tears, crying, and kind of, I went home that night and I got locked up, and I had a C5, C6 inflammation and maybe a herniated disc, but we pushed through it, and here I am getting the victory.
Well, Dustin, I mean, another spectacular performance, now 4-0. I don't like to ask fighters what's next, but let's say you had any choice you want. Like, what would you want to do going on from here? Like another Shamrock FC fight, a bigger promotion? What's in your mind?
I wouldn't be going anywhere besides Shamrock unless it's UFC. So if the UFC ain't calling, I'm gonna be back here in Shamrock.
Knuckle Junkies here with Shamrock FC main event winner Ty Flores. Ty, what a gritty battle. I mean, just walk me through the first round, because it looks like you were just kind of slow to start, and then in the second round you kind of picked up the pace and ultimately got the finish. But just walk me through the fight.
Yeah, I started off a little bit slow. My last fight I started off pretty quick, but kind of thought I got rid of that, but I guess not. But just some stuff to work on, but felt at the end I might have won the end of the first round, or it was close. I got the takedown, was doing some damage from the top. The second round started off a lot quicker. Hit him with something against the cage, saw that I kind of stunned him a little bit, went in for the takedown, and then that was all she wrote.
He did a very good job of staying wide and long with you in the beginning of the round. I mean, was that something that you knew about him, because as a striker?
Yeah. It was a short notice fight. I just I don't know what it was, man. Just wasn't moving my head at the beginning. Just something to work on. So.
And I mean, like you said, it was a short notice fight. But walk me through a little bit of the camp, because correct me if I'm wrong, you moved out to Colorado, right? Yeah.
No, I wasn't training at elevation. It's really good. It's I still don't really feel winded at all. So I knew I was in. I was hopping at the beginning of the second round. I could tell he was really tired. Even our exchanges against the cage in the first round, I could tell that he was tired. Even his punches felt a little bit softer. So, just training with high level guys. No positions that happened during the fight that wasn't anything I hadn't already been in. So.
I guess my last question is, did anything about tonight surprise you? Maybe the pace, his striking?
The only thing that surprised me was how slow I started, and I just wasn't moving my head. I felt I did a little bit better at the end of the first round, but just some things to work on, you know.
I guess now, you know, with this main event win, I mean, you've kind of racked up a couple of a streak win. What's next? Like, what would you like to do going forward?
I'm still pretty fresh. Just get back in the gym, just keep grinding, start working. You know, just have some things to work on. You know, I knew if I could just start striking in the cage like I do at the beginning, you know, like I do at the gym, I'd be a lot better. You know, so some things to work on mentally.
Ty, it was an absolute pleasure to watch you perform, man. Thank you very much for the time.
knucklejunkies.com